solves this is the first time. This is not an invitational. Yeah. People weren't invited to be here. You earned it from opens to championships. That $1 million is yours to claim.
Let's get this done as we have 3 days for our first weekend here. Of course, $2 million base prize pool is on the line, of course, as everybody at home can also be contributing as things go on. We're going to be starting with the group stage, going to semis, and then the grand final, as we mentioned, in Oakland later on, Avenger. And this tournament format, the structure of it and everything like that, every stage is a short burst, but it really, really matters moving on.
And we've been talking through it, like through the regions, through the stages.
Yeah.
You have to prepare for this. You might have a long phase to come to here, but you have to be able to prove it with 6 games. I love the double elimination system we have here as well. It's very lovely.
I really like it because you need to adapt and you need to be quick. You don't know who's your next enemy is going to be. There's going to be a lot of teams you're going to be facing here.
And of course, a point system here as well. If you are unfamiliar with it as a whole, or you might be familiar with it through the entire year because we've been using the same one, but if you are unfamiliar, it's 10 points for that first place. It teeters on down from there, 1 point per kill, and we've seen throughout this year that kills mean a lot of points.
Kills have been the difference maker, the tiebreaker more often than not. Interestingly enough, kills came into play at the end of the NPL season. But we have 6 guys from North America. If you guys see that numbers of distribution up there, that's because the Rumblers got that late invite due to some issues with some visas in other places. And I think that's a big boon for North America, that we have a little more of a chance of sort of moving through to that late stage.
And our 32 teams are being separated up into 2 groups to get the things going here for the first weekend as a whole. Group 1 is, as this stands, a big, fearsome group. We all looked at this at the very start and we're like, wow, that might actually be the group of death here. I looked on further inspection, I'm like, actually, both groups are really damn good. But we have 6 games per day for us here, starting with Erangel and moving on from there.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3 games of Erangel, and that means you got to take that opportunity. When you're on Erangel, you got most games there, make sure that's...
Rise to the top and excel. But here we go, guys. You can see the countdown is kicking off. Plane is up and in the air, so here we go. The first game of PGC is getting underway.
32 teams, 9 regions, 8 days, $2 million. And the chance to be crowned a global championship team. This is it. We are beginning. And of course, we get all the excitement, Matrim. This is where we see, initially, if we're going to get any contested spots. Will people be greedy? Will people be ignorant? Will people want to fight and try and farm early game? Well, it's time to find out.
Well, there is a good chance of it. There are a lot of very strong locations on this map. Down, spins back over towards him. Nice shots coming out, and look at that. McCoy decides to give a little bit of love over to Drassel as well. He's like, hey, you're getting some headshots?
He's that bloodthirsty picking up kills today as Adder and Jeff Locker go down to me, Luke. And tempostorm pick up the double. McCoy picks up the kill onto Esther. Now FaZe are on the move. They don't take the fight with Red Knits. They go further north across the road. They might have to deal with Armour Gaming as Ghost Gaming have just been wiped out.
There's a lot of trouble going off on this angle. It's all these positions. Everybody already posted up waiting. It's a very difficult point to use cards to try to cut through, and you can see it's very detrimental for a lot of these teams. Vendetta still on the outside. FaZe right up next to Armory Gaming. Buzzface already down. Looks like he's about to get flushed out. And there you go. Skeet starting to move into a more aggressive position. Is he going to find an angle back over towards Atzi and Uba, who's going to spot it out first? Looks like they're aware that Skeet might be making that approach. They've got the grenades out and ready, but they still need to make their way over to say so.
This is super important, though, for Armour Gaming, more so than FaZe. FaZe have done enough. They've got 46 points, but Armour Gaming need all the points that they can muster up here. Skeet spots Atzi, but not quite the angle he would have liked, as Tanawat actually gets a knockdown onto Joy.
He's in grenade range.
He's got one. Does he make it count?
Too far off to the side.
Throwing that way off to the side.
That gives away
almost
position.
Bounced back. That was close, actually. Uber with a nade. So give him a nade and a dream, and he can make anything happen. He could get a double here. And he has got a double! Uber!
Big throw coming out from Uba. They needed that space. So now AG just has one, and that's going to be Tanawat.
Wow.
Back over towards Vendetta. Now it's going to be a little bit more dangerous off on the side, but look who wants to join in that fight. It's Critical Motion, gets the line back down towards Uba. Going to get the shots off now. AT back behind this, still playing inside the smoke. Got to figure out how he's going to make this approach. He's just caught on every single angle. So many third parties coming into effect right now.
He's got no one behind him, though. AT can hold here at the rock for now, but the blue zone's bearing down on him. He's running out of time.
Oh, let's add more. Let's add more. Gex is walking down here. Looks like they want to join this. Look, gonna have the angle for this. Is he gonna spot out Vendetta? I mean, he's going to move forward. He's going to stop whenever he gets the safe zone, and he could third party back over towards Vendetta. That could buy some space for 8C to make his move back over towards this. Uba's still bleeding out back on that angle. New circle pops. Nowhere around the edge of the route right now.
I don't think Chai Wei wants to take these shots, though. He wants to hold that position for as long as possible. If he gives himself up, Gen G could look at him. Of course, he's got to kill Vendetta, otherwise he goes down. There goes 8C and FaZe Clan out in 13th position as Vendetta continue to almost have their number today.
Chai Wei now finding himself in a lot of trouble as he's been spotted out by Red Canids. Now then, Vendetta's back behind this. Everybody's going to have to push back over towards this new angle. Gen G also kind of encroaching in this same position. Everybody's trying to vie in for that internal spot, try to get inside the safe zone, look back on everybody that's coming in, pick up those kills. And Vista already on the move as well, flooding around a similar angle, and it looks like we have so many teams just stacked over towards the northwestern part of the circle.
Now V, of course, very happy with their position inside of the circle. They're going to have to find some kills, at least later on. Right now, of course, they've only got the 3 players. It's hard to spread around and use that advantage because they don't have 4.
Did Pride see him? I don't know. Yeah, okay, he did see Chai Wei. Information's fed over, and there you go. Gex is now taken out. Nice shots coming out from Interrogate. And now it's full-on go time. Just hop in the motorcycle, one in front of everybody. Let's just see how this goes for them. Looks like they're trying to find any little cover piece they can.
The shack?
G2's off the side. That's a dangerous shack to take because there's a lot of front angles that could be open to people, especially off the point where we see a lot of these teams pushing. So I like this. They're playing the backside of it instead of going inside.
I like this spot better than the shack for critical motion. This is much, much better.
Now, Envy looking back down, heard the shots coming out from Gen G as they took those shots back towards Vendetta. PO looking up on this angle. They've got 2 kills, trying to see if they can connect, get some damage back over towards Pride, but doesn't get the down onto it. Envy still needs to make their way forward. Loki is already inside the safe zone coming out for Gen G right now. Really, it's just about how long PO can hold this, and it looks like he wants to come back to safety as well.
Yeah, I think this is the smart option. If he holds that spot there, he could get overwhelmed. Loki's a bit further back inside of the zone. He wants that position. That was what I thought was going to happen. PO knocked down by Moody.
Big shots coming out from Moody, and that gets them a little bit more control, and they know it. They don't know there's only one member back holding this angle, but they know this is the direction they have got to go. It's time to commit. Just start making your way down. Try to cover each other's angles. Look around for this, see who's inside the windows, who's holding what angles. Rascal Jester also on the move. Look at that mini-map and how many people are playing right along that line.
South side, Rascal Jester, VC, got Red Canids down there as well. Loki trying to hold on here against NV. He's got 4 of them. I don't think he's got this in his back pocket of tricks. He might get a knockdown or 2.
Gets 1.
Actually, a bit of help from Sharpshot. Can they get a 3rd? Never mind. Moody clean up the stairs. Needs to go back and help out his team because they're getting knocked from third parties. Poker Molodoy with a knockdown as well now. Envy getting torn to shreds.
Everybody has so many angles on this position. As they made that aggressive push, Envy just got peppered from 3 different angles. They do manage to get control inside of this. New circle moves very far away from them, though. Na'Vi in a great spot. G2 as well. Envy's going to have to make a push through a very difficult location, but you can see Na'Vi's just kind of looking around right now, but I think that it's Ace that's pushing back over there next to them. Yes, it is. Trying to get a little bit more control. And here we go. Back over in this. We knew this fight was about to break out. Canids are holding the angle back over towards Rascal Jester. A lot of damage come out, but don't forget VC's back behind this. Grenades rolling back down that slope. So now Rascal Jester, we've seen Shinobi show up big. This is the time to do it. Gets a little bit of damage off, but he has to be so careful of those grenades.
Yeah, they haven't even been pinched really either. VC are more looking at Red Canids. Wesker can't get the heal off in time. Knocked down by Tide. There is that pinch now. Shots coming in as well from Na'Vi as they look down to the south towards VC. Shinobi, that's with a line for Rascal Jester.
Here's the problem.
So close to the bubble now as well in terms of the top 8. Vendetta's eliminated. Rosty's Era taken down by Shinobi. 3 more to go for Red Canids.
They have to move the Blues right on their heels. That's going to apply the pressure that allows Red Canids to take down Rascal Jester. Now, VC was being a little bit more aggressive about that. You see Summer looking back over on that angle. They can't wait too much longer. They have to be on the move. Tempo Storm now looking to push back around where G2 is already in position. Summer feels like he's got control over this. This could be a sneaky angle. Nobody from Canids is expecting this. They feel like they've cleared it out. He could just pop up right back behind them and absolutely destroy this team. Summer creeping up, slow, steady, goes for the shots, doesn't get the one down. He goes down off of it. He had to hit that. That was too aggressive, didn't get the shots, and it blows back up in their face.
He wanted the transfer, but he didn't get the initial knockdown because he goes prone. Well played from Red Canids. As we are down to 7 teams remaining, only 2 left alive for VC. Tempo Storm 4 kills, a decent game for them. They've had a really good second half of the day so far, and they're continuing that. The nade too far. Sharky looking for the revive on a sharp shot.
So trying to get that res off. Chris moving away from this, realizing it's a little bit too hot in this angle. tempostorm still playing off on this. Gonna get the res, move back up to 4. Knizz woes, man, they're just in a lot of trouble. So many people are looking back over on this angle for him. See, Andy has managed to make it inside the safe zone, but just narrowly. He's got like a little ridge that he's playing right now. You can't stack the whole team up back behind that. At least you don't want to.
Na'Vi, only the 2 kills. You wouldn't have expected them to get many kills from this position. That's all right, but they will have to start getting kills soon. That is for sure, as we're 20 seconds away from phase number 7. Still 4 alive for Entus Ace as well.
Massive respect to Na'Vi, though. They had a little bit of a rough start in their rotation. This is what we talked about whenever you adapt. You have to deal with the things that PUBG throws you, what these other teams are going to do to you. Figure out some way to make a win condition off of it and make the game yours. Na'Vi have managed to do that by keeping control over this, denying people to come in, encroaching back down from the south from them. New circle pops, no surprise, still staying on Na'Vi.
And keeping control of themselves as well. They could have been aggressive. They could have made the risky play and took the fight with Rascal Jester. Instead, they made the smart play and they got rewarded for it. As VC Gaming find themselves with the blue on their backs. They've got very little room in front of them. It's all open field now for them.
One thing to note, we have Infantry Gaming all the way down in 16th. They've only got 12 points. They do have 2 kills right now, and they have several members alive, and they're going to be moving into the eastern part of the circle with
G2
a lot
as
of
well,
control
at
that they have
15th.
angle of. Yeah. This is some big games from some teams that really needed it right now.
And it puts pressure on the teams that are, what, around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going into the final game after this.
So here we go. You can see a little bit of movement. G2 does have the center of the circle with a little bit of contention coming out from Na'Vi, but they don't have a lot of members to work with, so they have to be really cautious. Ace has managed to get a lot of control back over towards that west, but they're going to have to make their way towards this. It's going to be a little bit too compacted. 20 players up. Psycho does look back over towards Ace, sees the approach. They're just hopping through, trying to see if they can get the flush onto it. Psycho's taking a little bit of damage. Andy's holding off on another angle, but keep an eye on Mickey. Mickey's going for the outside push onto this. He could pop up and get a lot of damage off. Grenade's going to land right back behind Psycho, take him down, and now it's all just on to Andy. Got to be very, very cautious off of this one. Trying to play around the smokes. He's he's further up and ahead. You can see he's right up next to Ace, but now he's put himself between them
G2.
and tempostorm and G2.
Chris is going to go for the underarm throw. It hits the tree. Does get enough damage? No. Andy stays alive for now, and while Chris doesn't get the information he probably wanted there.
He's got the ghillie suit and the shade that he can play with right now. That could buy him a little bit more position. Chris looking back over towards Ace, hits a couple of shots, but it's going to be tempostorm that shoots him in the back as he was peeking through that doorway. Through the window back there. So that's kind of how Miramar goes. You have to be so cautious. Yeah.
Nowhere is safe.
Not with these teams right now.
Not even inside of the buildings you're safe.
All of these teams want to get as many points as humanly possible. They want every single kill they get. Ace maneuvering through this. Ace is having a great day right now. They're kind of the one team that's still holding up towards the top, still in second. And I love the smoke wall just kind of popping through, trying to get a little bit more information. But Chris still holding that angle, does get the down on the rank.
There is a crate that just dropped south. VC, if they want to, could actually push that, not to loot it, but maybe for a bit of cover if required. The way DJ Boy's moving, though, I'm not sure he's going to get knocked down anyway by Longska. Infantry playing this well, but they're pushing right onto Pokemolodoy.
tempostorm, look at them. They're getting active. They're getting more aggressive. They're starting to see all these. They're starting to try to third party in on this. This could be the downside, depending on how much information they have. They're right back behind what's going on with G2. G2's Chris taking those shots back over towards Ace. I don't know if they're going to hear this because I don't see anybody from that team looking back over towards tempostorm's footsteps.
Massive game for tempostorm, sitting in 9th position right now, tied actually with VC, who are still alive. One game to go after this. Are you playing Sunday, or do you get the reprieve? Sharky has the angle as Alpaca's eliminated by Andy, doing well for Red Knizz, giving them a lifeline and a hope here as he holds on, but he's got so many players around him. He's not even inside of the circle anymore.
This is just the one area of the map you do not want to walk into. Infantry was trying to approach onto it. There's 4 different teams, all within about 15 meters of each other on this angle. I would say maybe at max 40.
BC
Everyone is so stacked.
They're making the push.
So
How far will they get? As Chris is going to be eliminated by Zampa.
you can see Senna just holding this angle. He can hear the footsteps down below him. He knows it's got to be very, very cautious. Infantry is pushing back over towards Na'Vi. V still playing on the outside of this. Luke's going for the peek on this. Yanis gets a little bit of damage off, but Maluk does come up with that, and that's going to be G2 eliminated. Now just down to 6 teams, 15 alive, and there's so many different angles on this. Andy's trying to look back over towards tempostorm, goes for the peek, looks back the other direction, and still Senna just holding this angle back onto it. As you can see, Ace moving around down below them.
5 teams remaining. Na'Vi, OG and Entus Ace, tempostorm, Infantry, and VC holding on down south with Tide and DJ Boy, which I'm surprised they're even still alive in this game. As Vicky got down by Senya. Rang, though, is going to be able to get the trade and eliminates him from Na'Vi.
But Tempo hears it, and look, they know that this is their opportunity. They're looking back down off this Pokemon though on one angle. Tempo Storm's caught up, looking back over towards Ace. A lot of damage coming out, and that's going to be Ace getting eliminated.
9
Tempo
kills.
Storm moves up to a ton of kills, and now looking back across this, Tempo Storm is getting more control over the circle. Infantry actually retreating away from this fight that they hear.
Yeah, they're more concerned with VC than Tempo Storm. I think that might come back to bite them here, Matrium.
Oh, Pokemon hiding inside the smokes. Tempo Storm running right on top of them. Pokemon could come up big off of this as nobody
They're going straight
Tempo
past
Storm's
him.
not holding Angles. Look, Sharky's up on top of this. They're getting the shots back over towards Infantry. This is a lot. This is a grudge match for Tempo Storm. They want to do this damage back over towards him, but Pokemon is just watching, waiting for the moment. Goes for the shots back over towards it. Gets it down onto Sharp Shot.
Can he get a second one?
Second one. No, he cannot. So Tempo Storm gets more control. Looking back over towards Infantry. Another down.
slaughter.
Look at this. Tempo Storm coming up with 13 kills and murdering the world at the end.
Wow. Tempo Storm might have started slow, but they are coming home hot right now.
Always feels that's how Tempo Storm does. Usually it takes them like a week or two, but this time they don't have that time. They've got to evolve as fast as possible, and that is a huge game coming up for Tempo Storm. They needed that.
They have had 2 games today where they finished 16th.
Yes.
Now they pick up a 13-kill win. Consistency, not quite their strong point here today.
Big shout out to Miluk as well, walking away with 6 kills. He's their shot caller. Everybody else is supposed to be the fraggers on the team. He's just calling out where to go, and he just managed